All right, so we've got our white Adhesion Pro sealer down, the Glazerite line that we use. Love, love, love this stuff. So here is the color. Now this is Morocco Buff. Now that was an original 79 Jeep color. Also came on a AMC, I figured out once I put it in the system over here to mix it up. But there she is. That's different, huh? I think it'll look really good. I think it'll suit it well because if you've seen the chassis over there, which we'll show you again in a second, it's got the big LS in it. It's lifted, nice wheels and tires. So it's going to be a pretty cool looking Jeep. I'm excited to see it done. Just need to get some color in a cup. And all right, here's a little tip for you money savers out there. Normally when I've got a full gallon like this, I like to use these. Pop them on a new gallon of paint, and then you pour it out super easy. You can keep it on the mixing bank. Like that's our Model A paint down there. We've got a lot of them, but I'm out of them and I'm too lazy to clean one. So here's something you can do to try to save a little paint. Now when you go to dump that out, that crap's gonna go everywhere. So let's get away from our label so we can keep that. But take a little 2-inch tape, run it around the rim. See, this 55 line of Glazerite mixes 2 to 1. Alright, so that tape's going to help us not to dump paint everywhere. Got to get up to our 6 on the cup. Just like that, we didn't spill a drop. Wipe that off if you want to. Keep everything nice and clean. But you can tell we've done a real good job of that, haven't we? Oh, and don't mind my Glazerite paint suit. I got to get these guys to send me another one. I've seen better days. I broke my zipper and meant to get one, and I didn't get one, and now here I am with a big hole in my paint suit, which is real good. This is probably the longest lasting paint suit I've ever had. I'll give them that though. Now what I like to do when I start laying out these sealers and base, especially something like this where we can do it, I like starting at the bottom and then I will work my way across the Jeep. Now basically what that's doing, that's allowing me to keep a wet edge the whole time. So if you start in the center and you work down, if it's a bigger vehicle, by the time you get over here, you've got a dry edge right there that you're putting a wet coat back on top of. So if you can, try to start at the bottom, work your way across. You just get a better result there. Just right off the bat, like this is why I love this paint so much. Now it is a 2-to-1 mix, but this is a polyester base coat. So right when I go to lay this down one coat, we pretty much have full coverage right there. And that makes it worth the money in itself. So I love this stuff. Couple coats, you're covered. I still always do 3 just to be safe, but man, this stuff's awesome. All right, time for that liquid gold. Ready to lay this down. It's gonna look really good. So we're using 210 Glazerite Clear. Love this stuff too. And I was with another company for a long time, got stuck in my ways, didn't want to change, and this paint line, I'm so glad that I changed to it. It's made everything so much better. Now with this 210, you can mix it 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. So that's kind of interesting. So if you do 2 to 1, obviously you're getting a heavier mill thickness there, and I thought that's what I would like, seeing what we do and how much we're cutting off of it when we cut and buff. But I actually really like doing it 3 to 1. So that's what we're mixing up right now. A little bit of activator, and then so 3 to 1 to 10%. If you're one of those math whizzes out there, cuts and buffs so good too. I love how good it flattens out. My opinion, which is my opinion. I've used a lot of clears, like I said, with another line for a while. I think it's the best clear out there. Like, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna say it. I think that is the #1 clear, and I get asked the most what clear we use. I get that question all the time. So there it is, and that's why we use it. Let's see. Let's mix up one more. Let's be prepared. All right, so maybe here's a good opportunity for a little tip or trick here if you get something in it. Now it looks like we had, I don't know if it's just a piece of trash. It doesn't look like a bug. We don't normally have any problems with that in here, but normally what I'll do, take some Endosed tape, some wide stuff. There's a couple ways to do this. This isn't really wet yet. I've stopped my coat right here right when I saw it. Now if it were wet and you had something in your clear, you can fold the corner of your tape. See how we've made kind of a point right there? And what you can do is barely come in here and you can kind of dig that out of there. Now, the problem with this, which I got some of it like that, the problem with this is I think it's kind of smudged in there already. So another little thing you can do very carefully is we're going to stick the tape to it. Slowly pull it off. All right, so very carefully, and boom, just like that, we've got that out of there. Now, that's kind of what, set you apart from anybody else, is being able, as you're going through it, to fix whatever happens, right? So that happens occasionally, and you can get in there and get it. Luckily, we're still wet, so we can keep going with our clear. Tell you what else that works good for. I don't really ever have too many issues with running anything. But if you get some runs, you can do that same method. If you've got a line of runs right there and you've got a wet coat of clear, you can lay this tape down on there gently and pull that tape off. Now it's going to leave a little bit of an edge where your tape was, obviously, but when you come back and you put a couple more coats of clear on it, it'll flatten out and you can cut and buff it and you're good to go, and you're not razor blading or trying to block your runs out or something like that, and that works pretty well. Luckily, I don't mess with that too much, but I've also probably just jinxed myself again. So let's see what we can run now. All right, so one thing that I am doing on this first coat, I'm not pounding it on. So I'm not doing a super wet coat. Now my second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever coat, however many we decide to go, they're gonna be wet. They're gonna be a little heavier. This first coat, I'm kind of doing a medium wet, not getting too carried away. Then we're gonna let that tack up good because those following coats are really gonna bite into that. That's gonna help us not to run any clear. So that tends to be the way that I do it. So this next one coming up, we're gonna get a little heavier, we're gonna get it a little wetter, and it's really gonna start to pop then.